All right, let's just jump right in. The travel industry has completely, fundamentally changed. I mean, if you're still booking trips the same way you were just a couple of years ago, you're not just falling behind, you are literally building your entire business on a model that's obsolete. I'm going to say that again just so it really sinks in. The traditional travel agent is dead. Because in 2026, it's just not enough to be an agent. You've got to be a travel architect. So in this explainer, we're going to unlock the exact blueprint that top advisors are using right now. These are the strategies for getting way better rates, creating experiences that are impossible to replicate, and building a brand that's actually future-proof. And you'll want to stick around because one of these secrets is going to completely redefine how you think about your value. But before we get into all the secrets, it is so important that you understand this paradigm shift. What really is the difference between the old way and the new way? You know, the core of this whole shift, as you can see here, is moving from reactive to proactive. The old school agent, they waited for a client to call and say, "Hey, I want to go to Paris." The 2026 travel architect, on the other hand, they're already anticipating what their clients need. They're a specialist in a very distinct kind of travel, and they use insider tech to design experiences a client couldn't even dream of, let alone book for themselves. So let's get into our first pillar. It all starts with the tactical edge, right? And that means mastering the art of smarter booking. And believe me, this goes way beyond just finding the lowest price you see today. Okay, so the first tactic of a real travel architect is to stop looking at current prices. Seriously, searching for what a flight costs right now, that's amateur hour. The pros? They use AI-driven predictive pricing. These tools don't just see today's price. No, they analyze decades of data. They cross-reference it with conference schedules, what's happening geopolitically, even airline maintenance, all to forecast the exact window when that price is expected to bottom out.
Quick break. If you're a travel agent and you need a beautiful website for your business, you can check out Travedeus.com. With Travedeus, you can create your own travel agency website in less than 5 minutes, with no coding required. Just visit Travedeus.com or click the link in the description below this video to get your free travel agency website.
And this right here just shows you the impact. It's not about saving a few bucks here and there. By knowing precisely when to book, you can deliver some serious, tangible savings. In this case, a whole 15%. This is how you prove your value from the very first move you make. All right, next up is this really powerful technique called the ghost booking method. It is all about timing and really understanding the system. Now, this isn't some shady hack. It's about having a deep knowledge of how major hotel inventory systems work. You temporarily hold a certain room category, and then you release it at the perfect moment. We're talking just hours before check-in, which you know will trigger the hotel's own software to automatically bump your client up to the next year. And boom, you look like a hero every single time. And the toolkit doesn't stop there, not even close. Top architects, they completely bypass the public platforms. They use boutique consolidators. These are regional specialists with private unlisted rates that the average person will never ever see. And they also practice geo-arbitrage, using secure VPNs to book in the destination's local currency. That one little move can often shave hundreds of dollars off a single business class ticket. But look, technology is only half the battle, which brings us to pillar number 2, insider access. This is where a travel architect's true, irreplaceable value really starts to shine. And this brings us to a fundamental truth. Honestly, one of the most important secrets we'll cover. Your ultimate competitive advantage isn't some app you use. It's your black book. The best architects, they spend years cultivating a global network of local fixers. These are the people who can get you a table at a restaurant that's been fully booked for 6 months. They're the ones who get your client's name on the list for a private gallery opening or arrange an after-hours museum tour. This is access that you simply cannot buy online. And this idea of insider access, it extends to the entire journey. Let's take airport lounges. I mean, anyone can buy a priority pass, right? But an architect knows how to stack that. You start with the priority pass, then you add on airline-specific guest passes, and, this is the key, you top it off with hidden, one-time digital vouchers that you can only find in professional agent portals. You turn a dreaded layover into a premium experience. That's a value add that clients never, ever forget. Okay, let's move to our final pillar and see how this all ties together. Because look, having the skills is one thing, but building a brand that actually attracts high-value clients, that's a whole other ballgame. This is about who you are in the marketplace. And this leads us to a conclusion that is just undeniable. The era of the generalist travel agent is definitively over. To command premium fees in 2026, you just can't be a jack of all trades. You have to be the undisputed go-to expert in a very specific, well-defined niche. And listen, we're not just talking about luxury travel. We mean hyper niches, like these. Are you the absolute go-to person for biohacking retreats in Costa Rica? Are you the expert in solo trekking adventures for travelers over 50? When you become the only logical choice for a specific kind of person, price becomes a secondary conversation. Part of being a specialist is knowing the financial landscape inside and out. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword anymore. It is a financial strategy. Top architects are fluent in certified regenerative travel programs that can actually offer their clients up to a 15% tax credit on their trip. Now that isn't just booking, that is high-level financial advising. And that brings us to the final secret, which really starts with a simple question for you. You can have the best network and the best skills in the entire world, but if your online presence doesn't reflect that excellence, you are never going to attract the clients you really deserve. Let's be real, you cannot sell a 2026 travel experience with a 2010 website. First impressions are final. Speed is absolutely key here. And modern platforms like Travedeus, for example, they let you build a professional, SEO-optimized agency site in minutes. This makes sure your digital storefront finally matches the premium quality of the service you provide. So there you have it. Smarter booking, insider access, and a future-proof brand. These strategies are so much more than just tips. They are the blueprint for making that critical transition from being a reactive agent to a proactive, totally indispensable travel architect. The advisors who are putting these strategies into practice today are the ones who are going to be leading the market tomorrow, for sure. So the only question left is, which part of this blueprint are you going to master first?